speeches of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. While Sardar Patel was a home minister, his prime job was to consolidate all the states. At the same time, he was also taking full interest in economic matters because they were extremely important at that time. So this he speaks on economic independence on an exhibition, while opening an exhibition in Delhi. This exhibition was to be opened on January 26, the day we became a sovereign democratic republic. It shows the things manufactured in our country, in the villages and in the towns, handicrafts as well as machine-made products. We have to consider which of these products we should expand production and which we should use more in the national interest. 20 years ago, in 1930, we pledged to work for complete independence. By God's grace, we have redeemed that pledge. We need not go into many causes due to which we did not have to suffer as much for it as we might have had suffered. But usually, we do not value fully those things for which we do not suffer much. Gandhiji underwent the biggest suffering for Swarajya. There were others who too follow his footsteps, sacrificed a lot. It is no easy task to integrate such a big country with its many religions and languages, which had never been one country. So many different states had to be integrated and organized in order that the whole country should be free. But we had comparatively little trouble. We have therefore not enough appreciation for this. That, however, is not the end of our task. What has been achieved so far is like a peasant preparing the ground for cultivation. The true Swaraj or Gandhiji's dream has still to be created by us in India. Those who held up our work have left. There is no obstacle now, but millions in our country are suffering today. They need food, they need clothing, they need shelter. At least there should be no lack of these under self-rule, because these are the basic things which we must provide. We do not grow as much food as we need. Burma, which was a source of a good deal of rice consumed in Madras, and Bengal, and some of the food surplus areas in our country have now been separated from us. There is a deficit now to ensure that food is available everywhere and no one starves. We have to import food grains. Arrangements have to be made that the grains are made available in all parts, everywhere, thus necessitating various controls. These lead to many evils. In such a big country, it is not easy to have rationing and controls. The government is often brought into disrepute. People take bribes. Much else happens. But it is our doing. Aliens have no hand in this. People blame the government. To a certain extent, they are right. But it also gives our people a bad name in the world as people who cannot help each other, who cannot help themselves at this juncture, such a delicate juncture, who cannot cooperate, cannot share, not so good. This is not good for us. It is Gandhiji's way, no way. If we want true Swarajya, we have to follow his way. This exhibition shows, among other things, how to grow more food, what to do and use for this purpose, what we are doing in this respect and where. We have to become independent of food imports and mostly grow what we need. It is a difficult task, especially for a country weakened by years of slavery and foreign exploitation. A poor country does not become affluent by achieving freedom. But if we all work unitedly, it can be done. Gandhiji said our Swaraj depended on the charkha. We should spin our way to Swarajya. But we do not do that. The Swarajya we have gained is not the real thing. The real Swarajya we can have by producing in our country what we need. For this, we'll have to change our habits. We'll have to transform our villages. We have to pledge ourselves not to use imported goods. Of course, if there is anything required in the national interest to produce more wealth, like machinery, it will have to be done. But we should, as far as possible, not even touch foreign products. Things made by our poor brothers and sisters in the country must be used in our villages, in our town, have to be encouraged. If we do that, our people will get benefit. All free countries do that. Their people are taught this from the childhood. Our industrialists and other capable people should try to manufacture the machines that we now import and make our economy self-reliant. Unfortunately, we have a dispute with a neighbor of ours. We have the factories in Calcutta which used to utilize the jute grown in Pakistan. The government of India has done its best to see that economies of both countries are not hampered. But no agreement to that we could not reach, and if it did, it is not implemented by them. We have to act alone. They refuse to deliver even the jute paid for in advance, thus harming both countries. If they cannot guarantee to implement agreements, we better not depend on them. Let us grow the jute and the cotton and the food grains we need. It is rather hard because we import a lot of food grains while they have enough and to spare. They got all the best cultivable and irrigated lands and turned out of the occupants who are now refugees here. We have to make arrangements for these people, bear with their anger and their sorrow, while their golden land has been taken over by others. We have asked loudly and repeatedly for a settlement, but Pakistan obstinately refuses to do that. Thus the dispute lingers on. It can be resolved only by mutual negotiations for which they are not prepared. We are trying our best, but we are helpless when they are not coming forward to do anything. So, what is there for us? we have to try our best to create an independence, create an independent country, start producing the agricultural requirements and use the machines that we have and start producing the machine so that your गड़बड़ हो गई.
एक आइडिया